Hello, I'm Jeremy, and I wanted to talk about the Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot. If you've been watching my videos, you know how I've talked about politicians just get to do whatever they want whenever they want. I was watching a video with Tim Pool, and it was kind of going over this a little bit, and Ben Shapiro too. I think I saw his video kind of going over all of this. And so I pulled up the Chicago Tribune, and the Chicago mayor chooses only reporters of color to interview her as she marks 2 years in the office. And she's just a flat out racist. So before we get started, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, become a member. We've got Patreon and Subscribe Star. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot on Wednesday defended her decision to grant interviews on her 2-year anniversary in office only to journalists of color, saying it was intended as an effort to confront the issue of what she described as a mostly white male city hall press corps. So, I don't give a damn. Was somebody preventing women or people of color? That I care about. But just because, oh, they're just a bunch of white guys here. Okay, and? You got to tell me something more than that. And if she did, then if she had something more, then she would have said it. But she didn't. But the move revealed Tuesday by her office was greatly skeptical by some in the Chicago media and beyond, with questions about whether excluding white reporters is a discriminatory act from a mayor who has had an often contentious relationship with reporters of all backgrounds. But the move, revealed Tuesday by her office, was greeted skeptically by some in the Chicago media and beyond. So it just wasn't her, but it was her office, that they all were so stupid that this was the decision that they came up with? No, it's fine. You can discriminate. No. You can discriminate against a lot of things, but whenever you are talking about employment, whenever you're talking about the government, there are some things that you cannot discriminate. Race, sex, color, gender, national origin, religion, genetic coding. There's only like 6 of them. And all of them, besides religion's the exception, they all have one thing in common. And that is, they all describe a characteristic that you have no control over. You have no control over where you were born. You have no control if you're male or female, or in other words, your X or Y chromosomes. You have no control over the color of your skin. You have no control over your age. You have no control if you have some kind of hereditary problems, which is what genetic coding is. There's nothing that you can do to change those things. You are what you are. Where you were born, what you were born, it just is what it is. But here she is, that they're all so dumb that they're going to discriminate against males and white. You cannot change those. But yet, she gets to, for some damn reason, and not be held accountable. You know, one of the problems is that as mayor, she has control over the police force. Maybe there was a time whenever that was appropriate, but it's inappropriate today. Maybe they could have done better even back then too. Don't know, don't care, can't go back into the past to change that. The police should be answerable to the people. Not to some politician. I don't care who they are. The police should be there to make sure that they are protecting the people, enforcing the law, and not enforcing the whims of a politician. It should be a checks and balance. Just like with the executive, legislative, and judicial branch within the federal government. Well, we should have checks and balances within the city and the counties and the state, with the police, with the sheriff, with marshals, with whatever it is that you have. That the mayor cannot loom the police with their jobs over their heads. You know, can't be the mayor and be like, oh, I have your job right here. You better do what I say if you want this job. No. It should be, if it's the law, it's the law. And no matter who you are, we can come and we can get you for breaking the law. So that means you too, Mayor. You are being a racist. This is absolutely wrong. You need to be arrested. You need to be fined. You need to go to court. You need to do whatever it is. Doesn't make sense. It's all backwards nonsense. The mayor emailed a 2-page letter to Chicago journalists on Wednesday saying her choice was a continuation of her campaign's promise to break up the status quo. Oh yeah? And this is what you came up with? You know why? Because you can't. Because you know what it really takes? It means that you have to find black people, women, whatever. You have to train them. Well, take it back further. First, you have to find people who want to do it. And then of that small group, you have to find people who are actually capable of doing the work, where they're just not all talk, but they actually will put in the work. And then whenever they put in the work, that it's good work. And then you got to get them there. So there's no magic wand that you get away with and poof, they're all there. Oh, we want more diversity here? Well, that requires work from you. And she didn't do it. She's just virtue signaling. I've been struck since my first day on the campaign trail back in 2018 by the overwhelming whiteness and male of Chicago media outlets, editorial boards, and the political press corps, and yes, the City Hall press corps, specifically Lightfoot. So, are you trying to tell me that there are police officers who are keeping minorities and women from being journalists? Being part of the press corps? I have a problem with that. Oh, no, wait. You don't mention that. So how are they being held back? That if they want to do it, well, then why can't they? She wrote, there are no women of color assigned to the City Hall beat, saying, I find this unacceptable and I hope you do too. Oh, yeah? Where are these women of color who are trying to get these jobs and they were denied? Who are they? I want names. How long have they been working, trying to do this? What are their credentials? Do not bring me some random woman of color and say, oh, here's one. Oh, really? What has she been doing? Nothing. She's been sitting at home. She has no education in journalism. But we found someone who wants to do it. No, you didn't. You just pulled someone off the street. You probably gave them some money. Screw you. WBEZ disputed the mayor's observation in a Wednesday story, noting that 2 of its 3 City Hall reporters are women, 1 Hispanic, and 1 South Asian. Oh, Somebody brought something to the table instead of just placating around with some stupid words without any kind of proof whatsoever of bringing women or colored people and saying, why don't these people have these jobs? They have the qualifications, they tried, and they've all been denied, and it's only been white male. It's like, yeah, that would be fishy. Oh, but no, here's WBEZ, and they're like, no. Of the 3, we have 2 that are women, and I don't know if both the women are Hispanic and South Asian, or maybe one of the males is Hispanic and the other South Asian. I don't know. Don't care. Interviews to Mark Lightfoot's 2 years in office. Mark? What is that, her brother, her dad? Because she's gay. So who the hell's Mark? Was she married at one time? I don't know. I don't care. Interview to Mark Lightfoot's 2 years in office were set for this week and come as she faces mounting problems over crime policing, turnover in the office, and ongoing battles with the Chicago Teachers Union. Man, isn't that something? Oh, we're going to cry racism. We're going to be a racist and a sexist, but we have big problems with crime, policing, turnover in her office. I wish they were a little bit more specific about that. What do they mean? That she's been firing people or people have been walking off? What are you talking about? And ongoing battles with the Chicago Teachers Union. Teachers unions. Horrible things. The Tribune declined to participate in an interview with Lightfoot to object to the restrictions. Charles Whittaker, dean at the Medill School of Journalism at Northwest University, said journalists of color trying to break into the political press corps have faced barriers for decades, but while he applauded Lightfoot's motivation, he said the one-time interview restrictions felt more like a stunt and don't address the root of an age-old problem. Okay, well, Charles, he's saying no, they do have some kind of barriers, but he doesn't say what they are. Okay, well, again, same thing. Show me something so I know what the hell we're doing. Or otherwise, you're just doing the same thing. You know, she's just doing this stunt work. She's just virtue signaling. What about you? If they've been going on for decades, can't you just spit those things out just like that? I mean, he's the dean of the School of Journalism at Northwest University. So he should be extremely up to date with all of these barriers that are going on, what they are, why they're a problem, where they came from. I don't necessarily know that it's the best way, Whittaker said in a phone interview. We would never in a million years allow that of a white politician. Oh, well, yes, that's right. And so it's dangerous now to say that we are going to allow that of black politicians simply to make a point about the historical inequities in media. That's right. Everyone needs to be held to the same standard. It's like if a white politician said, we're only going to allow straight white men, they'd be blasted. And they should. I don't want to cover this stuff. I want a website where it has the most accurate, up-to-date information possible. Information should not be hoarded. I want good information. I want it to be the best that we currently have. Because right now, I mean, tomorrow it's going to change. And tomorrow the day after that it'll change some more. And the day after that some other things are going to change. And it's going to continuously to change. And I know how to do this. I absolutely know how to do this. But how do I get the money to start doing this? And it's like, well, yeah, YouTube. And also converting this into podcasts. But that means because I just don't need money, because I need people on the website. I need activity with it. So I need people and I need funding. So how do I get both of those? Well, we have that kind of set up already. And so you could look at someone, I guess I'm kind of closely associated with news and the press and the media. And so I could have a YouTube channel that deals with that. And then I could create an online website that's member-based, because that's what a lot of them do. So Ben Shapiro, he has the Daily Wire, and his membership is like, I think it's in the millions. Steven Crowder, he's the same. He has, I believe, Louder with Crowder, right? And he's got a website with that, and it's a membership-based. Or no, he's part of the Blaze, isn't it? Isn't that like a separate website? It's kind of the same thing, but it's several of them who've come together to do that. And Tim Pool, he's trying to do that because I heard in one of his videos where he was talking about it that he heard that whenever you have a membership-based subscription, that it's extremely profitable. So then, what can I offer now to get people engaged and to work in doing this? Because I'm going to build the structure, but I'm not going to do the work. And it's because the structure isn't it's not that kind of structure. I just need just a basic starting amount, and if I say too much, I don't want someone else to run with it and to take it from me. And it happens constantly. I was over at a friend's house, I guess last week, and we were watching some TV show, and they were talking about the history, and it was some stupid little thing that they just randomly kind of found these little connection things. It reminded me of, there's this game that you can play where you have two actors and you're like, make the connection between two of them. And so you would take someone like Johnny Depp and Ronnie Downey Jr. Two actors who haven't worked together, but you make a connection by other actors. And so it would be like, Johnny Depp was in a movie with this other actor, and this other actor was in the movie with this second actor, and this second actor was in the movie with this third actor, and this third actor was in a movie with Robert Downey Jr. And it was the same thing, I kind of feel that I got with this, where they were talking about all these things in history and how they kind of connected. And in a lot of these stories where they had these inventions, these ideas of improvement or doing things, they failed constantly. But it wasn't because their ideas were bad. It was because they gave up, they didn't know how to communicate very well, they relied too much on themselves, and they didn't seek help, especially professional help. It's like one of the things that I don't have to be good at marketing. All I have to do is just get to the point where I can hire somebody who knows how to market, where they've done that. But it's just getting to that first point. Oh, it's such a hump. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I need to take a closer look at what the most successful ones are doing. And I was thinking, well, who's successful? Well, right now, I think with news media stuff, it's Tucker Carlson. I think he's got like the most views than anyone else out there right now. It's like, okay, well, what's he doing? And all of these people who are doing this, who are, seem to be pretty successful at it, put together from top to bottom. They definitely don't look like they just rolled out of bed. They were wearing like a nice dress shirt, and I don't know if I want to wear this dress shirt or not. FYI, a real dress shirt does not have a pocket on it like this one does. This is not a dress shirt. I know people out there are stupid and they think that it is, but it's not, and it's because it has a pocket. But I like this shirt. I like that shirt. It's because whenever people are really kind of dressed up, you're not dressed up whenever you have pins sticking out of your pocket. There's no reason to have a pocket on your shirt. It's more of a work shirt. For a work shirt, yeah, there are times whenever, having a button-down shirt with a pocket makes sense. There's nothing with news that deals with that where you need that. And a lot of them also have like a sports jacket on. And I haven't ever bought a sports jacket. I've got a suit. I've had a couple of suits. And suits are more form-fitting, but I don't know the difference between a suit and a sports jacket. And there was another one, and I looked into it, and it's like, yeah, it's a sports jacket that I need. I don't need the stupid little patch stuff on the elbows. It's a little more... it's not as tight. It's a little looser. And then that way you can like wear like a sweater underneath it, but it's just more flexibility. And it's like, yeah, I can do some things like that. I kind of need to tidy this up back here a little bit too. Because I kind of have this stuff up here, but it's all out of the picture, and I need to kind of bring it down a little bit. And then I was watching them, and it seems like they have red, white, and blue in the background. Go figure. Or American flags. Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I have an American flag. So I have 3 flags up there. The American flag, the Texas flag, and the Welsh flag. And that's because it's where my people are from. And then this is just the scene of death right here of a bishop or somebody of importance. And all of his wealth. And he died. And none of that stuff went with him. You know, if there's heaven, his soul went to heaven, but he didn't. And all that stuff was for nothing. What a waste. Didn't help him out. Didn't extend his life. Didn't do any of that stuff. But people. I remember people a lot better than I do the things that I've had in my life. I can remember some extremely specific, great things that have happened in my life whenever I was young. 10 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. 30 years ago? I don't hardly remember anything that I have. I mean, if I looked at a picture, I would know, but there's plenty of stuff. It's like... I mean, I still have some things from my childhood and some just random things that I don't know why I have them, how I got them, if I bought them, if someone else did. Just people. I-4, I was in the military as a 19th Delta Cavalry Scout. I was part of I-4, this is the implementation force. Those were all the countries involved. Just like Superman. Not all the Superman movies and all that kind of stuff, but some of it. And that's like an iconic pose that somebody came up with him, and everybody just kind of went with it. And it's like, well, should I have some books back here too? Because I've got some other stuff. So, Constitution of the United States. Huckleberry Finn. Plato's Republic. Whenever I was in Germany, I was stationed in Whittaker and bought this little smoker. It's just it's kind of like a relative of the Nutcracker. He's got a little hole, a little pipe, and you can separate them. You can put a little incense in there and light it, and it looks like he's smoking. Have a Cryptex. where if you know the code, you can put it in, it opens up, and there's like a little, I guess it's like a box, but it's cylinder shaped, so it's like I could have that stuff out. And why not? And then what would I do? I don't want to do, because it's also with politics, there's a lot of competition out there. But isn't that kind of true with everything? And what do I need? I see these YouTube channels and they'll have, I guess just 1 million subscribers, and they'll have anything from, I don't know, maybe a little under 10,000 views of video, but then they'll have some that's like a couple 100,000 views, but it's not consistent with that, and they have that's enough where they have people and a set and really good equipment. It's like, that's all I need to do. And I look at these fools and it's like, I can absolutely do better than that. I mean, with time, I mean, you just don't get on a bike and start riding it. No, you know, little kids are just stumbling all over the place. You start off with training wheels and all that, and you work on your balance. You know, you don't just go off and you start running. No, you learn how to crawl first, or get your balance and then crawl. Then get your balance as you learn how to walk, and then you walk really good, and then you learn how to run. You know, it's steps. But it's I guess a better way to put it is, that is absolutely something that I could learn to do and more. I could do more than that. So much to think about, so much to try to figure in. And it's like, what part do I need to focus on first that's really going to kind of play out to the long run? Too much. And there's just so much trash out there. And then whenever you look into this stuff, it's like, oh, I already learned that. Why am I learning about it again? It's so repetitive. Anyways. The Board of National Association of Black Journalists agreed with the call for Newsroom to diversify their City Hall Press Corps ranks, but said it could not support the mayor's method of achieving that. Because she's a racist. And for some reason she has a job, because this idiot can just say and do whatever they want. Maybe part of it too is that, there's a lot of white men who do this? Well, considering that the overwhelming portion of the population is white, it's not like there's not any justification for that. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. And I don't know what kind of interest women have in journalism. If they were in front of a TV screen, I would think, yeah, people like to see nice, attractive women. Probably a little bit more than guys. I know. That's definitely the way that I am. But do women want to do that? So I know that women traditionally, I think the number one job that women have, from what I just heard not too long ago from some kind of study that they did, that they found that the number one held job by women is secretary. Well, why? There's not police at schools saying, you can't be a doctor, you can't be a journalist, we're going to arrest you. For whatever reason, that's what they chose. NABG's history of advocacy does not support excluding any bona fide journalists from one-on-one interviews with newsmakers, even if it is for one day and in support of activism, the board wrote in an online statement Wednesday night. Tiffany Walden, editor-in-chief of the digital media outlet The Tribe, which covers Chicago's black communities, defended Lightfoot's actions, saying it was a small step toward leveling the playing field after what she described as a long-standing lack of access for Black and Latino journalists. How? What did it do? What did it do? It didn't change anything. Okay, so for one day they did that, and then they went right back to it. How about, what are these barriers that's keeping them and getting rid of them? I'm going to stop. I'm not going to get any more upset about this, and I've got some other things that I need to do. So, politicians just lying and not being accountable. Part of this website, because it's big, it's massive, there's a lot of things that I want to do with it. One of them is that I want them to be held accountable, and that's going to require people to be able to bring this information together to one place so that we can all be aware of it, where it's accurate. It's going to be filled with checks and balances. It's going to be an automated thing. It's not going to be some kind of committee or board who's going to be reviewing this. So, because I'm tired of it. There are so many great, wonderful, productive things that we can do in the world where we can make things better. And instead, here we are, stuck with this. I want some meaning in my life. I want options. I want to be able to do as much as we can possibly muster for all of us. One of the things is getting rid of things like the minimum wage. Stop with taxes and bring that down as low as we possibly can. Getting rid of politicians. Allowing people to decide to live the lives that they want to live and not being forced into something that they don't want. I'm not interested in having a life filled with materialistic nonsense. There's a lot of things out there that look nice, but I can't fill up my house with them, and they just mean absolutely nothing. I'm not going to be a hoarder. I enjoy people. Anyways, good video. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And give me a like, a thumbs up. I've got Patreon, subscribe star, become a member, and we will see you again later. Thanks. Bye.